Hi everyone, welcome to this Pilates workout. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. So for the practice today we're going to be using hand weights and we're going to be using a strap. Now if you haven't got either, you can use a dressing gown belt maybe, just a normal belt, something like that, sort of nice length though, not too short, and hand weights. And if you don't have hand weights, you can always use bottles of water, fill them up with water. Obviously we don't want them empty because they won't do a lot. Or if you've got neither and you don't want to use them, you can work from your fist. So we don't always need to use the props that I bring in. So anyway, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. If you've heard this before and you want to shimmy onto the practice, then do feel free. Otherwise, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Debbie, as I said. I've been doing Pilates now for around the last 18, 20 years. I started after I had a premature menopause at the age of 29. I had osteopenia, we went into full-blown osteoporosis, and then I prolapsed a disc, which was just awful. It was due to obviously degeneration of the bones, and I needed to have some medication. I was doing physiotherapy, all sorts of things, and I was like, I'm still young, I don't need to be doing all this. I need to find something, an alternative to help me out. So I looked around, Pilates came back up, and I haven't looked back. So if any of you have similar ailments to me, I do hope that my practices will help you. But if not, and you're just doing it for the pure enjoyment of exercise, and again, I also hope you enjoy it for that. So with Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we breathe in, we pull in our core. As we breathe out, we pull the core in more. The focus is to tighten our core the whole time while we're working out. I mean, obviously some moves when you're bending forward, it's a little bit more difficult, but we try and hold it where we can because it will support our spine, it helps with our posture. So that's great. We're going to start by laying down. Just going to pop on some music. Let's get that on. Okay, so you can take yourself down from the side, or you can come down with me from a seated position. If you're coming down with me, we sit nice and tall and we roll back, okay? We protect our spine, we roll down. We don't just drop back. If you roll down, you'll find that you'll come down further holding your core as well. So breathing in and pulling in that core, you start to roll down. So you've still got your neck bending forward. We're coming down in what we call a C curve. Now, if you reach this sort of point where you can't hold it with your core, take behind your legs and take the support. Don't compromise your spine at any point. So we're coming down slowly, we're pulling in our core, and we're rolling ourselves down very slowly and gently towards the mat. And we're coming down here. And we're going to take a full body stretch. If you have lower spine issues, take your feet mat width apart, lock your knees in together. We can still full body stretch from here. So we take our arms overhead, we breathe in, we pull in our core, and as we do, we push our back into the mat beneath us. We push away with our arms, holding the core tight, and we squeeze the legs in, and we squeeze, and we squeeze, and we really squeeze the glutes, everything, squeeze tight, and then release. So you can do that again, or you can take your legs long, and you can do the same thing here, stretching away. So we breathe in, we pull in our core, we push our spine down into the mat beneath, we push away with our arms, we point our toes, we stretch away, pulling in, squeeze the glutes, squeeze everything tight, squeeze away, push, push, and then release. Excellent. Okay, let's take a little bit of time here now to focus and check our bodies in before we start our practice. So we're taking our arms out, take our palms up to bring in some energy, and then we're laying here still, closing your eyes down if you can, or just downcast so that you're not focusing on anything that's going on around the room that you're in. So letting the feet drop outwards and letting both legs just relax and let them go. Looking at your ankles, your knees and your thighs. Any areas that may be tense, feeling a little bit niggly today. Remember those while you're doing your practice and focus on them. But at this point, ask them to just soften and rest down. And we're focusing on our lower spine. Could be heavy into the mat beneath, and let the pelvis rest down. Got little twinges or any issues there, make sure that you concentrate on those while we're doing our practice. Be mindful not to push yourself too far. Your mid-spine and your tummy, and your upper spine and your chest. Your torso heavy against the mat beneath. Let it be restful. And your hands, your wrists, your elbows, and your shoulders. Do you have any areas there that feel a little bit tight? Maybe a little bit achy today, not feeling their best. Just focus on them through the practice. Be mindful of them. And then our neck. Just going to release our neck out. We hold a lot of tension in our necks. Just gently rock your head from side to side. Release that neck, just slowly and gently. Coming back to center. And then release the head. Feel the weight of it against the ground or the mat beneath you. Let it soften, let the facial muscles all soften. So your cheekbones, your eyebrows and your forehead, let everything be soft and restful. And then while we lay here, just scan your body from the tips of the toes to the top of your head. And focus on those areas that might be tight today. Start to give yourself a little bit of a wake in now, wriggling the fingers, maybe rocking the head back again from side to side, wriggling your toes. And then when you're ready, everybody meet with their feet mat width apart, knees locked in. Taking your arms out into a T shape for the moment, then parting the knees. Take an in-breath, pull in that core. And as you breathe out, pull the core tighter and allow the legs to drop over to the left-hand side. Reach your point of tension and then let everything go. Release the core and be restful there. Gentle spinal twist. Relax the shoulders, relax everything else, just be soft here. Allowing the gentle spinal twist to open up and relieve tension. On your next in-breath, pulling in that core, and at the same time you bring your legs to center, holding the core tight, reaching the center, breathing out but keep the core tight. Breathe in, pull the core tighter. And as we breathe out, the core is still tight as we drop the legs over to the right-hand side. Reach your point of tension and then let everything go. Let the core go, let everything relax down there. Breathing into any areas that are tense, ask them to soften down. Relax the face, relax the shoulders. Spinal twist on the other side. The next in-breath, pulling in your core, and at the same time bringing your legs to center. Reaching the top, hold that core tight. Don't let it go. Now we're going to take our arms into cactus, which is taking them, bending at the elbows, taking the arms and the palms up towards the head. We've got a little bend there at the elbow. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. And as you breathe out, again, drop the legs over to the left-hand side. If this is too much on the chest opening with the arms in cactus, take them back to T-shape. Holding it there, let everything go. Getting a little bit of a chest opening here now if we have our arms in cactus. On your next in-breath, pulling that core tight. At the same time, bring your legs to centre. Hold the core tight when we reach there. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. And as we breathe out, let's drop them over to the right-hand side. Reaching the right and your point of tension and letting go. On your next in-breath, pulling that core, and at the same time bring the legs to centre. Come into centre, core tight as you breathe out. Don't let the core go. And then bring your legs so that they're now hip width apart on the mat. Bring your right leg up in and hugging it in towards you. Keeping the core tight as you squeeze the leg towards you. You'll feel a small opening down the bottom of the mid-spine as you do this. Release the leg down. Bringing in the left leg, breathing in, pulling in the core. Breathing out as you squeeze the leg in, core tight. Let's do that again on the left, right hand side. So bringing the right leg up, keeping the core tight as you breathe. Squeezing it in. Letting it go, core is still tight, breathing in. Core tight, breathe out. Core tight as you squeeze the leg in. That's amazing. You can do that again, or this time we can go into half happy baby pose to bringing the leg up, taking your right hand around the outside of the right foot and bringing that knee down towards the armpit. Keeping the core tight, don't let it go. Feel the opening now, the stretch down the back of the leg. Keeping the core tight as you're breathing in and breathing out. And release that down. Again, you can just squeeze the leg in, or you can take half happy baby pose on the left hand side. Core tight. Taking your left hand around the outside of your left foot and squeezing your knee towards your armpit. Keeping the core tight, feel the opening down the back of the leg. And then bring that down. We're going to take full happy baby. So again, you can bring your legs into just a hug. You can alternate with the right and the left leg. You can do half happy baby pose again, or you can do full baby pose with me. So bringing our legs up. Take behind round hands around either side of our feet. And then we try and keep the tailbone down and we squeeze our knees in towards our armpits, our feet, soles of our feet facing the ceiling. Got a hip opening here. Got the back of the legs being nicely stretched. And if you want, you can even do a gentle rock from side to side, which is like a little gentle massage to the spine, nothing too intense. Any twinges, don't do this. And again, keeping your core tight. Coming to centre, allowing the legs to drop down. Okay, we're going to take our legs long and we're going to give one full body stretch here. Again, if it's too much, feet mat width, knees locked in. Breathing in, pushing that core into the, pulling the core in, sorry, and pushing your spine into the mat beneath. Stretching away and releasing. Okay. So if you've got a strap or a belt or something close by, bring that now because we're going to be using those. So we're just going to get our spine, neutral spine here. So neutral spine is where we tilt our pelvis gently up and down. So nothing else moves, just the pelvis. The way that is good that I do is to take your hands in a triangular shape and put them over your pelvis. You breathe in, you pull in your core, and the hands go down. As you breathe out, you pull in the core tighter, and the pelvis will tilt upwards. Now as you release down, you keep the core tight, you don't let it go. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. Breathing out as you squeeze up with the core tight. Releasing down, the core still tight. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. Really get into those low, deep muscles. Breathing out, core up, or pelvis I should say, and then down. Just gently continue that, moving your pelvis up and down, keeping the core as tight as you can for each move. And then release down, and you should be in a nice neutral spine. Okay, so that is the majority of our spine will be flat against the mat. Some people do have a natural curve to their spines, they might have a little arch there, but we don't want great big bends like this. Our back should be nicely and firmly on the mat beneath. So taking hold of our back, oh goodness me, let's speak here. Taking hold of our strap, we're going to take it round our right foot. So take it just sort of below the sort of toes area and holding onto it. And we're just going to release our legs now. So we're going to just allow it to drop over to the right hand side as we're holding onto it. Try not to let the hands be doing it, if you can. We've just got the belt there for support. So as it's dropping down, you should sort of really only go to where you can without sort of like forcing anything with your hand there. It's there just to support, to bring it back up. If you haven't got a belt, you can of course do it without the belt. Dropping down, keeping that core tight, bringing it back up, dropping it down, bringing it back up. And now, again, if you've got the belt, I'll show you to do it with the belt. We're going to take some little circles with the leg. So you can take the left leg long, or you can leave it so the foot is flat on the mat, whatever's easiest for you. We're going to start to do some little circles, opening out our hips now. And again, you can do it without the belt. You don't need the belt. Last one this way. Come into the stillness at the top. Let's take it in the opposite direction for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one. Bringing it to the top, bringing it down, giving it a little squeeze in, keeping the core tight, squeeze it in, and then allow it to go back down. Let's take that on the left leg, and take the strap around our left leg, or you can, if you've not got a strap, again, do it without the strap. Leg long or knee bent, whatever's good for you. And then you start to drop the leg over to the left hand side, keeping the core tight. 8, 7, 6, 5. Try not to lift the right hip up. If you want to hold on to the hip so it doesn't rise up and move, you're trying to keep it flat. If you only come into here, that's absolutely grand. If you're coming to here, that's good. As long as you're not rolling and bringing yourself over, because that's not what the aim is around. You've got one more here, and then come into centre. Ready for our leg circles. We're going to start circling here for 8, 7, keeping the core tight, 6, breathing in as you bring the leg up, breathing out as the leg goes down. Last one, breathing in, breathing out, holding holding it there, holding the core tight. Let's take that in the opposite direction. So we're breathing out and we're breathing in. Breathing out through the mouth, breathing in through the nose. Last one, bringing it to centre, taking the strap away if you have it, bringing the leg in and giving it a little squeeze. Okay, fabulous. Going to do some sit-ups now. We're just going to work our core. So if you've got hand weights or you've got something that you wanted to use, I wouldn't go for anything too heavy, just have them either side of your mat for you. And we're just going to start by just normal sitting up. So taking our legs mat width apart, where it's comfortable for you so that they're nice and flat down. Taking our hands behind our head, breathing in, pulling in our core. And as we breathe out, we pull the core tighter and we start to lift. Let that core go. Okay, we're just going to do a couple of obliques here. So again, it's breathing in, pulling in the core. And as we breathe out, we take our right elbow towards our left knee, and then on the other side. Tight. Breathing in to lay down, breathing out to lift up, keeping the core tight for every breath. That's 4 full, 3, 2, 2, and 1. And then here we're going to do full sit-ups, so you can do them with your legs where they are. You can do classic sit-up with the legs long. We're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to bring ourselves up. Now you can hold behind your legs, as you see I'm doing, to bring yourself up. You can do it obviously just coming up, keeping our legs on the floor, our feet on the floor as we're coming up, holding it from our core. You can do it, as I say, with your legs so they're mat width on the floor, bringing yourself up. From here, you can use the hand weights, you can take your legs long. We're going to do 8, whatever's comfortable for you. So we're going from here, so we're sitting up for 8. Take your arms overhead as well. 7. Keeping the core tight. 6. 5. Try not to throw yourselves up. Try and keeping our feet on the mat, even if they're here. We want to keep them so they're on the mat all the time. 2 more. 1 more to do there. And on this one, bring yourself up and hold yourself here. So taking our feet long. We're going to roll ourselves backwards, again working our core. We're doing it from a seated position this time. So we've got our palms down, we've got our weights. Or we're doing it with just our fists. We're bringing ourselves up from here. Again, I use the weights because I don't know if you've read or seen my initial info that I say about myself, my little bit of blurb. As we get older, our cells don't grow as fast for our bones, which is what causes the osteopenia, the osteoporosis, because the bones start to weaken. But if you build up your muscles, which is what I like to do, that's why I do a lot of weight holding, so it builds up the muscles, and by your muscles becoming bigger, it will promote your bones to grow new cells faster. So that's the reason that I use weights, but it can be done. If you clench your fists again, you are still working your arms, you're working those muscles, and you're telling them that you've got to keep working, you're working from there. So we're coming to a seated position, and we're just going to come back a little way, not all the way, we're not going right the way down, we're coming back up. 8, just where it's comfortable for you, where you can hold it with your core. 7, don't take any pain in your spine here. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and the last one, hold it down there. Let's hold it for your point of tension for 8, 7, keep that core tight, keep breathing. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring yourself up to seated. Take the weights, if you have them, to one side, and we're going to bring ourselves down gently, counterpose to where we've been working our spine backwards. We're just going to gently bend forwards and allow the spine to open in the opposite direction to where we've had it compressed. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, gently take yourself down a little bit further. Don't force anything, just where's comfortable for you. And then take yourself up. Okay, let's bring ourselves round onto all fours. Just going to put an elastic in my hair. So a nice all four position here. So we want our wrists underneath our elbows, and we want our knees underneath our hips. So we're in a nice tabletop, flat back position here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come up into a downward dog. And I know a lot of people presume a downward dog is yoga, but it is. But it's also used in Pilates. It's a fabulous pose to do. You know, you've got your head below your heart, so the blood's pumping nicely. You're working your arms, your back, you're working every part of your body in a downward dog. So before we do that, let's just get ourselves, we're in our all four position, so I don't know if you saw, I'm just starting to rock gently back and forwards. So we're just working the wrists here, where you can. Breathing in, breathing out. In through the nose, pull the core tight, out through the mouth. Just working our wrists here, just opening them up gently. And this time take the wrists, so the hands, fingertips are facing to the side of your mats, and let's just gently rock from side to side here, keeping your core tight as you work from side to side, working those wrists. Maybe want to come a little forward and back here as well. Whatever's good for you. Just opening the wrists out here very gently. Just putting a little bit of exercise into them. We tend to ignore our wrists and things quite a lot. So then we're going to take it so that the fingers are now facing towards our knees if you can. And again, just gently rocking back and forwards. Keeping the core tight, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And again, if you want a little gentle rock from side to side. Amazing. Okay, take the wrists back so that they're now facing forward. If you're feeling a little bit achy, you can take them together and you just roll them around. Release them off. Just work them one way, so work them the other way. Your fingers, and then come back down into your forward position. Curling your toes under, we'll just do a little bit of a prep first, so breathing in, pulling in that core tight, and as you breathe out, keep the core tight and just lift your knees about 1 inch off of the mat, 1/2 inch maybe, and then lower them back down. Do that one more time, breathing in, pulling in the core, and as you breathe out, core tight, you're lifting the knees 1 inch off of the floor, and then releasing them down. This time we're going to do it, we're going to push ourselves right up. So take our hands, one hand forward from where they were. So just one hand forward, breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, lift the knees, push yourself up, pushing your feet backwards and bringing yourself into a lovely downward dog. So here we're aiming to push our chest towards our knees, pushing ourselves forward, but keeping a core tight as we can. It's a little bit more difficult when we're up and we're squeezing, but do try and keep it tight. Breathing in, breathing out. Let's work the ankles now. We'll start to walk the ankles out, lifting the heels. Don't forget to keep that core tight. Then right up onto your tippy toes, really up high, and then releasing back down here. If this is too much on your wrists, you can come down onto your elbows into what's known as dolphin. You've still got the same body work as you would before, with the head below the heart. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk our hands towards our feet. We're just going to hang down like a rag doll here, just hanging yourselves down. A little bit of a turn, so just twisting your body. You might want to take hold of opposite elbows while you do this. Just a gentle twist. And then holding it in centre. Nodding your head yes, release that neck. Shaking it no. And then holding still, just hanging. Then releasing the hands. We're going to come up, we're going to start to do some Pilates roll up, roll downs, classic Pilates move. You're breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, you start to bring your hands over the front of your calves, keeping that core tight. Any in-out breath or out breath, you keep the core tight. So your hands are coming up over your knees. Keeping the head down, the lower back starts to straighten, the mid back, the upper back, the shoulders go back and down, the neck lifts, and finally the head, until you're standing nice and tall in one straight long line. We do that again, we do that reverse, we roll down, we roll up. It's working every muscle slowly and gently. The slower you can do it, the better it is for your body. So as you're standing tall, you've got your shoulders back and down, you're pulling in your core. You're breathing in, you've got that core tight. As you breathe out, you keep the core tight, you drop the chin to the chest. And then the head starts to roll down, the shoulders come forward, and your hands start to roll down. As the upper back comes down, the mid back and your lower back. As you go down as far as you can, as slow as you can. And you release when you get to the bottom where it's comfortable, which is your point of tension. You hold it there for a few moments, then you take a big in-breath through the nose, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out through the mouth, you pull the core tighter, and you gently start to roll yourself up one vertebrae at a time. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze everything, keep the core tight, the lower back, the mid back, the upper back, the shoulders roll back and down, the head comes up, the neck comes up and then the head. So the neck first and then the head. Okay, let's do that again. Breath in, breath out, core tight, chin to chest. The head starts to come down, shoulders come forward, the upper back comes down, keep the core tight, the mid back comes down, and the lower
tension. You hang there, you're keeping the core tight as you're hanging, you're still breathing in and out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then on your next in-breath, through the nose, core tight, everything squeezed tight, you start to roll yourself back up. Slowly, slowly, one vertebrae. Using the hands at the front of your legs is always a good indication of you coming up slowly to the point. So your lower back, your mid back, your upper back, the shoulders go back and down, the neck lifts, and then your head. Fabulous, guys. Let's do that one more time, and then we'll do a little bit of side stretching. So roll shoulders back and down, breathing in, pulling in the core, breathing out, core tight, chin to chest. Squeeze the glutes as you start to roll down, slow as you can. Keeping the core tight, squeezing everything tight. Get to your point of tension, hanging wherever you are. Big breath in through the nose, core tight. Breathing out, core tighter as you start to roll yourselves all the way back up. Shoulders, neck and head. Amazing. Okay guys, let's do a little bit of side stretching. So we're going to take our feet slightly wider than hip width now, and we're going to start to just drop our hands down, opening our sides up here, just slowly, just gently moving from side to side. And then this time as you come down, you might want to take the opposite arm to the ceiling. So I've got my left hand down and my right arm into the ceiling. And then I'm coming back up. Still breathing in and out, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Opposite arm up. Full body side stretch here. Bringing yourself back up. Let's do that again on the other side. You don't have to raise your arm. You can just keep it there. You can bring your arm up as high as you like. Right the way up. You're going to feel it all the way down the side there. And then coming back again. Let's do that on the other side. Breathing in, core tight as you drop yourself down. Breathing out as you raise the arm, core tight. Breathing in as you bring yourselves back up. Breathing out as the hand goes down. Breathing in as the side comes down. Breathing out as you raise your arm. Breathing in as you come back to centre. Breathing out as the arm goes down. Okay, we're just going to do a little bit of a forward flat back bend here, so I'll just come sideways so you can see. And then, so we're coming down, so we're just coming so that our back is flat, okay? We're not bringing ourselves all the way down, just a nice flat back here. You can take your hands to your shins if you need support, you can take them to your hips. And holding it here, nice and flat, keeping the core pulled in. And then this is where we're going to take it a little bit deeper. You can take your hands to clench behind your back, and you can squeeze the shoulders up, still keeping our flat back. We're not bending down, we're keeping our flat back. We're bringing our arms up to open out our shoulders. And then if you want to bend right over, it's entirely up to you. You can bring yourself down, and you can open up your shoulders, your back, your legs, and again the head is below your heart, so the blood's pumping nicely. And then bend your knees, release the arms down, bend yourself, you bring yourself all the way back up to standing. Okay, how's that feeling? Let's give ourselves a little wiggle here, just releasing off that back. Okay.
going to do some squats, so we're going to bring ourselves to the back of our mats. And from here, we're going to bring our right leg forward so that the knee is not compromised. You can still see your toes, so we've got a little bit of a right angle going on here with our right leg. We can still see our toes nicely. We're up on our back toes of our left foot, and we're just going to start to gently up and down here, just gently going down where you can. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, don't forget breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, core tight, step forward with that left leg. Okay, taking our right leg back this time, nice right angle bend on our left leg so that we can see our toes in front of our knee. Push that right leg back as far as it needs to go so that you're up on the toes and you're in a comfortable position. Let's go for 8, 7, 6, keeping that core tight, 5, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, 2, and 1. Stepping that foot forward. Amazing, guys. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. So we stand to the top of our mat, shoulders back and down, Pilates, roll down. Breathing in, pulling the core tight, squeezing everything tight, chin to chest. Every breath in and every breath out, we're holding that core tight. We're coming all the way to the mat. We're walking our hands forward. And we're going to do a little pigeon pose here. So you're going to bring your right knee towards your right wrist. You're going to slide yourself back so that your foot, your heel of your right foot is in the groin area of your left leg. Your left leg is pushed back. And then we're just going to lower ourselves down here. We bring ourselves down. You might want to put your hands, you might come here. You might just want to stay here. Whatever's good for you. Even here, it's still good. You're still doing an opening. You're still opening, working those glutes. And you're bringing yourselves down. Hip opening, glute squeezing. Nice inner thigh here as well. It's a lovely stretch, this one. I like this. Then pushing yourselves back up. You can stay here or you can take it a little bit further, so you can bend the left leg. So you're now bending up. You can take hold of it with your right hand and you can bring it in. Actually, you can probably do it with the other hand as well. You might want to bring it in and do it with the opposite hand. Whatever's good for you. Actually, this is probably easier doing it with the left hand and the left leg. And you're going to get a stretch down the front of the thigh on this one. And then you can release it down. Okay, let's take that back. Let's take that leg out and give it a shake. And let's bring this leg round now. So we've got our left leg forward. We're taking the heel into the groin area of our right groin. And we're coming down here. So again, you can be here. You can come down. You can come all the way to the floor and rest your head. Lovely stretch. Breathe into it, relax into it, allow the stretch to do its work. And pushing yourselves back up. And again, if you want to bring the right leg up, taking the right hand around, and bringing it in, squeezing it in to get that front thigh stretch. yourselves round. Keep your legs out, taking them wide. Just going to do a bit of bending forward. So let's just move my hand weights out of the way. So we're here now, so we're just going to keeping our core as tight as we can. It's not difficult now because we're bending ourselves forward and we're bringing ourselves down. So you can use your elbows to push into your legs and bring yourself down, taking your hands into a clasp there, pushing away. So you're getting a stretch here. So inner hips are being stretched. Back is having a little stretch out. And then if you want to take that a bit further, you can take your arms out in front and bring yourselves down. Then walking yourselves back up. Just going to take a little stretch onto each side. So taking our arm, our forearm into the thigh of our right leg. So we've got our right arm, right leg. Pushing that into there. And we're just going to open up here. So look up at the ceiling and just feel an opening on the left hand side, down your side of the left here. Trying to keep the core tight. And then bringing that back down. Let's take our left forearm into our left thigh and open up here. Very similar to what we was doing standing, but we're getting a little bit more opening now on the legs at the same time. And then releasing down. Coming round, ready to have some relaxation, guys. We'll do a couple more stretches on the floor, and then we'll go into some rest and relaxation. So taking our feet nicely on the mat. You can come down from your side if you don't want to roll down. If you have low blood pressure, it's better to come down from your left. Otherwise, if you're with me, we've got our feet hip width apart, feet firmly on the mat, taking our arms in front. And as I said at the beginning, we C curve down. We don't drop back. C curving down, you will come down further with core control. And don't forget, at any point, take behind the legs if you need support. Breathing in, pull that core in. And as you breathe out, you start to C curve down. All the way down. Bring yourself to the mat. Taking yourselves out for your full body stretch, whether that be with your feet mat width apart and knees locked in, or whether it's a full body stretch with the arms and legs away from each other. Breathing in through the nose, pulling in the core. Breathing out through the mouth, core tighter. And then release. Okay, everybody bring their feet up. So we can do what we did at the beginning of the practice with our feet mat width apart. We can take them so that they're hip width apart. Or you can take your right leg over your left. Take your arms out either into T-shape or cactus arms where they're bent at the elbows. Bent at the elbows again opens the chest more. So breathing in, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, keep the core tight and allow the legs to drop over to the left-hand side wherever you are. When you get there, just release everything, let everything go, let the core go, keeping the shoulders firmly on the mat. Breathing in, pulling in that core, and at the same time bringing the legs to centre. Keep the core tight as you unravel the legs if you have them crossed. Keeping the core tight, breathing in, pulling that core. If you've got the right leg over the left leg, and breathing out as you drop the legs over to the right hand side. And then let everything go. Shoulders firmly on the mat, arms in either cactus shape. You can look to the opposite direction. You can close your eyes down. Let's breathe in and pull in that core. And at the same time, bring the legs to centre. Uncross them if you have them crossed. Breathing out. and let the core go. We're going to take one last hug. So you're going to breathe in, pulling in the core, and then as you breathe in and pulling in that core, lift the legs up. If you need to take behind the thighs to bring them up, do so. Keeping the core tight as you squeeze the legs in, breathing out. And then if you wish to bring the chin towards the knees for a big hug. Release down, allowing the legs to go long or mat width apart and knees locked in. We're going into some final relaxation now. So taking your arms out to the side, you can have your palms facing up or you can have them facing down, whatever's most comfortable for you. Closing your eyes down if you can, it will help because you're in a focus rather than focusing on anything or being distracted by anything in the room. Just allowing yourself now to just slow that breath. Really slow the breath down now. Feeling your body start to melt and relax. Let all 10 toes be soft and relaxed. The soles of your feet. Your ankles. Your calves. Your knees. And your thighs. Both legs restful and soft. Relax your lower spine, feeling it heavy in the mat beneath you. Relax your pelvis and your lower core. Let the mid-spine release and your tummy. Your upper spine and your chest. Your torso heavy in the mat beneath. Restful and still. All 10 fingers, the palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms. Both arms are heavy and rested and still. Rest your shoulders down. Let the tension go, let them be restful. Release the neck, let it be soft. And your head. Full weight of your head, how heavy it feels in the ground beneath you. Relax the jaw, your lips, relax your cheekbones and your eyes. Rest your eyebrows, let the forehead go, let it be soft. And finally, the top of your head. Your whole body still and surrendered to the ground beneath. Just the rise and fall of your concentrate on that breath. Any thoughts that come into your mind, just acknowledge them and let them go. Take your concentration back to the breath. Be still. Visualize a clock in front of you in a clockwise motion. The hands going round. That clockwise motion starting in the centre of your belly. It's getting bigger till it fills the whole of your core. Clockwise motion gets larger, it fills your chest and your pelvis. Goes to the top of your legs, brings in your arms. And then the clockwise motion keeps going to the lower legs, around your neck, and then your feet and your head. Your whole body working in a clockwise motion, realigning itself, putting the chakras into good use. And then hold still, gently soft breath. Surrender yourself deeper into the mat beneath. Start to reawaken your body now, taking the breath slightly deeper. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe rocking your head from side to side. And when you're ready, bringing your feet about flat on the mat. And then we're going to gently take ourselves onto our side so you can shift your hips as you move. Left hand side for low blood pressure. And you bring yourself over, making a little elbow with your little pillow with your elbow. Resting your head, the lungs are now free and open at the back. So we're going to take a couple of deep breaths into those lungs. So deep breath in through the nose, fill the lungs. And let the stowel air go. Do that again, big breath in through the nose. And release through the mouth. We're going to take ourselves up, keeping our eyes closed if we can, bringing ourselves round onto all fours, looking downwards, and as we're looking at the floor, gently blink our eyes open so that we're coming back into the light of the room. Curling your toes under behind you, bringing your fingertips to the side of your knees, pushing into the fingertips so that you are now onto your toes. Bring the fingertips a little bit closer, push into them again so you're firmly up, feet flat on the floor, and allow yourself to hang for just a moment. Taking your hands to your hips, we're going to come up very slowly because we don't want any head rushes here. So we're going to bend our knees big time now. And we're going to start to roll up one vertebrae,
Keeping the core tight here, supporting that spine. Standing yourself slowly up. One vertebrae, the neck, and then finally the head. Okay, bring yourself a step forward, shake the arms. Let's take a big deep breath in and breath out. Shake those fingers. Another big deep breath in. Taking the hands together, bring your feet together. Bring your hands down to your heart chakra. Give yourselves a bow. And give yourselves a clap. Thank yourselves for showing up to this practice today. Well done, guys. Hope you enjoyed that.